My parents told me there was no room for me at the annual family retreat. They invited 103 people, my 5 siblings, their families, in-laws, cousins, and even friends. I didn't say a single word. Instead, I took action. 8 hours later, my mother was screaming. I'm 26 years old, and I've always been the odd one out in my family. We're a big, loud group. 5 siblings, their families, cousins, in-laws, even friends who seem more important than me. Everyone has something special. Caleb plays the piano like a professional. Sophie sings like a star. Lucas makes everyone laugh with his jokes. Ava has a charisma that draws people in. And Noah tells stories that captivate. Me? I'm Mia, the useless one. That nickname stuck from childhood when I tried playing the guitar at a family gathering, and it sounded awful. Lucas said it first. Everyone laughed, and it became my label. We grew up in Portland, Oregon, in a house full of music and chaos. My parents, Karen and David, always hosted family events, barbecues, karaoke nights, games where everyone showed off their talents. I never knew what to do. If I tried something, I felt my family's eyes waiting for me to fail. Over time, I stopped trying. I became the quiet one, sitting in a corner with a soda, smiling to blend in. The biggest event was the annual family retreat. Every summer, my parents rented a huge house in the Colorado mountains. It was like a festival, live music, bonfires, talent competitions. Everyone participated except me. This year, the retreat was going to be massive. They invited 103 people, my siblings, their spouses, kids, in-laws, cousins, Caleb's friends, even a neighbor Sophie's who plays the banjo. The family WhatsApp group was buzzing with messages about who'd bring what, who'd sing, who'd organize games. I read everything without typing a word. 2 weeks ago, I was in my Seattle apartment, scrolling through the group when a message from my mom popped up. Final guest list for the retreat. Confirmed by Friday. I opened the file. 103 names. I searched for mine. It wasn't there. I checked again. Nothing. They hadn't invited me. It wasn't a mistake. They just didn't want me there. I stared at my phone, a knot in my stomach. I didn't cry or scream, just felt an emptiness, like I'd been erased. 103 people, and I wasn't one of them. I thought about all the times I'd been sidelined, the photos I didn't fit in, Lucas's taunts, my parents' disappointed looks. That night, I couldn't sleep, replaying every moment I felt invisible. But something shifted. I was tired of staying silent. I've always loved writing. As a kid, I filled notebooks with thoughts and jokes I never shared. In college, I started going to open mic nights in Seattle bars, not to sing, but to do comedy. At first, I was terrible. My jokes flopped, and once a guy yelled, "Go home." But I kept at it. I practiced every night, watched comedians on YouTube, learned to turn my pain into material. Slowly, people started laughing. They clapped, asked me to come back. It was my place where I wasn't Mia the useless. After seeing that list, I knew I had to act. I wasn't going to call my mom and beg, or write in the family group. I was going to take the stage and speak my truth. I signed up for a comedy night at a big Seattle club, one that sometimes recorded shows for YouTube. I spent days writing my set, talking about the retreat with 103 guests, my nickname, turning my pain into jokes that stung but made people laugh. The night of the show, I was terrified. The club was packed, about 150 people drinking and waiting to laugh. I was the last act, following much better comedians. Backstage, I considered bailing, but I remembered the list, the nickname, the laughter that wasn't for me. When the host called my name, I stepped out. "Hi, I'm Mia," I said, gripping the mic. I come from a big family, like a circus, but without the paycheck. This year, my parents threw a family retreat. They invited 103 people, cousins, friends, even a guy with a banjo. Guess who wasn't on the list? Me. The crowd laughed. I kept going, talking about growing up as Mia the useless, how I tried to fit in and always failed. Each joke felt like releasing something I carried forever. When I finished, the applause was so loud, I nearly fell over. For the first time, I felt seen. I came off the stage with my heart racing. The organizer said the video would go up that night. "It's gonna hit, Mia," he said. I didn't believe him, but nodded. When I got to my apartment, I checked YouTube. The video had a few views. I fell asleep feeling something new, like I'd done something that mattered. The next morning, my phone was flooded with notifications. The video had 40,000 views. By night, it was 400,000. My jokes about my family had gone viral. The comments were mixed. Some called me hilarious, others cruel. I was reading them when my phone rang. It was my mom. "Mia, what have you done?" she said, her voice shaking with anger. "You humiliated us. Everyone's talking about us. Caleb lost a gig because of you. Is this what you wanted?" "No, Mom," I said, trying not to yell. "I just told the truth. You didn't invite me. You left me out, like always." "You're our daughter," she shouted. "How dare you? If I'm your daughter, why wasn't I on the list?" I asked. She didn't answer. She hung up. I stared at my phone, heart pounding. I knew this would cause trouble, but I also knew I couldn't stay silent. I'd found something that was mine, and I wasn't going to let it go. I turned off my phone and tossed it on the couch. I didn't want to see more notifications, read YouTube comments, or get another message from my mom. But I couldn't ignore reality. My comedy routine had gone viral, and my family was furious. The next day, the video hit 1 million views. Comments kept pouring in, some supporting me, others calling me a traitor for exposing my family. I found a Reddit thread where someone shared a video titled "Girl Destroys Her Family in a Comedy Show." The comments were a battleground. Some said I was brave, others that I was selfish for shaming my parents. I read until my eyes burned, unable to look away. Then came a message from Caleb. "Nice job, Mia. I lost another gig. Hope you're happy." Guilt hit me. Caleb lived off his music, and though we weren't close, I didn't want to ruin his life. I replied, "I didn't mean for this. I just said how I felt." He didn't respond. Then Sophie texted, "You're a disgrace. How could you do this to us?" Lucas, true to form, sent a meme of a clown with my face edited onto it. Ava and Noah didn't write, but their silence hurt just as much. My dad, David, sent a short message. "We'll talk after the retreat. This isn't okay." I didn't reply to anyone. What could I say? I didn't regret my routine, but I hadn't expected it to explode like this. I locked myself in my apartment, checking the video's views like they were a scorecard of my life. 2 million, 3 million. Each number made me feel more powerful and more alone. Then my friend Sarah, a comedian I met at open mics, called. "Mia, this is huge," she said, practically yelling. "The video's everywhere. A club in LA wants you to perform next week, and a podcast invited you. You have to seize this." I didn't know what to think. LA? A podcast? A week ago, I was just a girl telling jokes in small bars. Now the world seemed to be opening up, but I felt the weight of my family on my shoulders. "I don't know if I'm ready, Sarah," I said. "You're ready," she replied. "This is yours. Don't let your family take it away." Her words gave me strength. I decided not to back down. I spent the next few days writing a new routine, not just about my family, but about me, my insecurities, my dreams, what it meant to be the useless one in a world of stars. I signed up for the LA show and accepted the podcast invite, but the guilt wouldn't leave me. I knew my family was at the retreat, probably furious, talking about me. I imagined my mom crying, my dad trying to calm everyone, Caleb cursing me for his canceled gigs. The day before I left for LA, I got a voice note from my mom. I played it hard in my throat. "Mia, I don't know how we got here," she said, her voice shaky. "But what you did broke us. I hope you're happy." The message ended and I froze. I wanted to reply to explain, but I had no words. I turned off my phone and packed it in my bag. The flight to LA was a blur. I was nervous but excited. The club, the stop, was a famous spot with posters of legendary comedians on the walls. The manager, a guy named Mike, greeted me. "You're the girl from the video, right? This place is going to be packed because of you." I smiled but felt like I might throw up. That night, the club was full, about 200 people. Some recorded with their phones. I stepped on stage, mic in hand, and started, "Hi, I'm Mia. The last time I was on a stage, I pissed off my entire family. Let's go for round two." The crowd laughed. I talked about the retreat, my nickname, but also how I was learning to love myself even if my family didn't. The jokes were raw, honest, and the audience loved them. When I finished, the applause was like a wave. A girl in front row shouted, "You're amazing, Mia." I came off stage shaking, not from fear, but from something new, pride. After the show, Sarah took me to a nearby bar. "I told you, Mia, this is just the beginning," she said, raising her beer. She told me an agent wanted to represent me and that the podcast, Real Talk with Riley, was a big opportunity. But as we talked, my phone buzzed. It was an email from an entertainment blog. Viral comedian exposes family in 103-person retreat. It mentioned Caleb's canceled gigs and said my parents were devastated by the scandal. My chest tightened. I didn't want to destroy them. I just wanted them to see me. That night in my hotel, I recorded a short video. I didn't plan it. I just turned on my phone's camera and spoke. "Hi, I'm Mia. A lot of you saw my routine. I want to clear something up. I don't hate my family. I love them, but it hurts to be left out. It hurts to be called useless. If my jokes made them uncomfortable, maybe they should ask themselves why. Thanks for listening." I uploaded it to YouTube and Twitter, not expecting much. Within hours, it had hundreds of thousands of views. Comments were mixed. Support from strangers who felt like me, criticism from others saying I should shut up. The next day, I went to the podcast. Riley, the host, was direct. He asked about the retreat, my family, my nickname. I held nothing back. "Growing up as Mia the Useless wasn't easy," I said. "The retreat was the last straw. They didn't invite me, so I spoke up." Riley nodded like he understood. The episode was recorded and uploaded that night. By the next day, it was viral too. On Twitter, people started using hashtag #MayaThuzless to share their own stories of exclusion. Reading them was incredible but heavy. Each story reminded me of my pain, but also gave me strength. I wasn't alone. Still, the consequences kept coming. A cousin texted that my parents were considering leaving Portland out of shame. Caleb lost another gig. Sophie unfollowed me on social media. Lucas sent another dumb meme. I felt bad but also free. For the first time, I was choosing my path. Before it turned to Seattle, I got an offer from the club for more shows and a call from an agent wanting to work with me. It felt like a dream, but the guilt lingered. Had I gone too far? Was I the villain? I had no answers, but I knew I couldn't stop. Comedy was my voice, and even if my family didn't get it, I was going to keep talking. Then things got ugly. One morning, while drinking coffee, I got an email from a Portland lawyer. It was a formal letter with letterhead and all, saying my parents and Caleb were accusing me of defamation. According to them, my routine in the viral videos had ruined Caleb's career. He'd lost 3 gigs and damaged the family's reputation. They demanded a public retraction within 48 hours, or they'd sue for an amount I couldn't even imagine. My heart sank. A lawsuit from my own family? I called Sarah. "They can't do this, can they?" I said, almost pleading. I just told my truth. Sarah was blunt. "It's a scare tactic, but you need a lawyer, Mia. This isn't a joke." She connected me with Brian, a friend who worked on entertainment cases. I met him at a cafe the next day. He was a chill guy with big glasses and a calm vibe. He read the letter and said, "This is more noise than action. Comedy is protected, and you can use full names. Don't retract. Keep going. If they want to fight, let them try." I felt a bit better, but the fear lingered. That night, Noah, my quieter brother, texted, "Mia, I'm in Seattle tomorrow. We need to talk in person." I didn't know if he was coming to support or attack me, but I agreed. We met at a park near my apartment. It was raining, and Noah showed up in a soaked hoodie with dark circles under his eyes. "Mia, this is out of control," he said, sitting on a bench. "Mom's a wreck. Caleb's not playing. Is this worth it?" I looked at him, trying not to snap. They didn't invite me to the retreat. They called me useless my whole life. What was I supposed to do? Stay silent? You could have talked to us, he said, raising his voice. Not go on stage and make everyone laugh at us. I tried. I shouted. My whole life, I tried to be seen, but I was always the extra one. Comedy is the only thing that gave me a place. Do you want me to get up for you? Noah went quiet, staring at the rain. If you don't retract, they're going through with the lawsuit, he said. I don't want them to, but I can't stop them. He left without another word, leaving me shaking with anger and sadness under the rain. I couldn't sleep that night. The threat of a lawsuit paralyzed me, but it also made me realize something. I wasn't going to give in. If I retracted, I'd be saying my pain didn't matter. So I wrote a new routine, this time about the lawsuit, about Noah, about what it meant to be the useless one who now had a stage. I tested it at a small Seattle bar. The crowd roared with laughter. Some shouted, "Keep going, Mia." That video went viral too, and the hashtag grew even more. But things got more intense. A gossip blog posted an article. Viral comedian faces family lawsuit for exposing them. It said my parents had moved because of the shame, and that Caleb was on the verge of quitting music. The comments online were a mess. Some called me brave, others an opportunist. Then Ava, my older sister, texted, "Mia, this is cruel. Do you think you're the only one who suffers?" Her message hurt. Ava had always been the peacemaker, and now she was against me. I decided to respond to the chaos with another video. I recorded it in my apartment, no filter. "Hi, I'm Mia. My family threatened to sue me over my comedy. I'm not retracting. Being excluded from a 103-person retreat hurt. Being called useless hurt. I don't want to destroy anyone, but I'm not going to shut up, thanks to those who support me." I uploaded it to YouTube, and within hours, it had millions of views. On Twitter, #MayaThuzlis filled with stories from others who felt invisible. One message from a girl stuck with me. "Thanks, Mia. My family ignores me, and you gave me courage." Days later, I ran into Lucas at a coffee shop. He was with a friend and smirked when he saw me. "Well, if it isn't the famous one," he said. "Ruining lives, huh?" "Lucas, I don't want to fight," I said, gripping my coffee. "Too late," he replied. "Because of you, Mom and Dad are broken. Caleb's not playing. And now a lawsuit? You're a joke, Mia." His friend snickered, and I felt like the kid everyone mocked again. "You know what, Lucas?" I said, raising my voice. "You started the Mia the useless thing. You and everyone made me feel worthless. Now that I'm speaking, I'm the problem? Look at yourself." I stormed out, trembling but with a new strength. After that, I knew I had to close this chapter. I wrote a letter to my family, not for social media, but for them. "I'm sorry if I hurt you," I wrote, "but I needed to tell my truth. I love you, but I can't keep being the one who doesn't count. I hope you understand." I mailed it, not expecting a reply. None came. The lawsuit never materialized. Brian said it was just a scare tactic, but the damage was done. I blocked my family's numbers and left a WhatsApp group. It was hard but necessary. I moved to LA to record a comedy special for a streaming platform. The show was a hit and I got more offers. I started surrounding myself with comedian friends and fans who loved me for being me. I don't know what happened with my family. I heard Caleb started playing bars again, and my parents held a smaller retreat. I didn't want to know more. Now I step on stage and make people laugh. My comedy isn't just about my family. It's about me, my dreams, my truth. I found a community that sees me not as Mia the useless, but as Mia, and that's all I need.